Tonight, more Conestoga College layoffs.
And somebody read from a script saying that my position was being terminated.
A second round of cuts this week, and what it means.
I fear that the amount of education and hands-on experience that the students are going to get is going to be lacking.
During an already tumultuous year. Plus, faculty cuts fallout.
I was shocked, confused, angry, because it just doesn't make any sense.
We hear from students on the impact.
Now I'm confused. I don't know what should I do after this.
Of the Conestoga cuts earlier this week. Also, a mountain of generosity and hope.
We hear a lot of it's been a hard year for people.
Tallying up a crucial campaign.
Everyone has to give how they're able to, and sometimes the greatest gift people can give is their time.
And how it's turning into gifts for thousands of children and teens. We open tonight with a live look at Conestoga College in Kitchener as we follow some developing news. We have just learned about another round of job cuts at the college. This is the latest in a series of downsizing measures. The college, of course, saying it has been under significant financial pressure this year. Good evening. It's happened again. More job cuts this week at Conestoga College. This time, more support staff getting layoff notices. Only 2 days after we learned that almost 200 faculty were being cut. CTV's Colton Weens is live with more. Colton, I know we're still waiting to get a handle on the numbers in terms of this newest support staff layoff round, but one of the union leaders telling us she's deeply angered by this.
Yeah, and Tony, the union, OPSU, also says it's tried to work with the college on ways to avoid cuts and increase revenue, but feel their efforts have been ignored. Today, more people learning their jobs are cut.
I was not allowed to have my camera on. I was not allowed to have my microphone on. And somebody read from a script saying that my position was being terminated.
Ian Jenkins says after nearly 3 years teaching at Conestoga College, he received an email around 10 this morning from Conestoga's Human Resources asking him to join a virtual meeting at 2:30. Jenkins says it was similar to how 180 support staff were laid off back in April, and he had a strong feeling about what was coming.
Less stressful if they had just sent me a video email first thing in the morning at 10 a.m., as opposed to making me wait 4.5 hours to basically have a video email anyway.
CTV News is still working to confirm how many support staff were laid off on Thursday. Vicky Poirier, president of Ontario Public Service Employees Union 238, wrote an email to members today saying, "I am deeply angered by the decision made by Dr. John Tibbetts and senior leadership to send notices of layoff and reassignment during the holiday season." In an email to CTV News, the college did not reveal how many support staff were cut, but said these difficult but necessary decisions are not taken lightly and reflect our responsibility to align resources and ensure long-term sustainability. Earlier this week, they again cited the sharp drop in international enrollment for ongoing financial pressures and staffing changes. Jenkins says all he was told was that it has to do with money.
Because the federal government has reduced the amount of international students, the enrollment is down, and if the enrollment is down, they need to cut staff in order to maintain a balanced budget.
Jenkins was an instrumentation specialist in the Health and Life Sciences Division, specializing in preparing analytical chemistry instruments and instructing students on how to use them. He says an entire course set to start in January centers around working on those instruments, and he fears for how the layoffs will impact the students.
I fear that the amount of education and hands-on experience that the students are going to get is going to be lacking. I also fear for the college itself. I think that people are doing this as a money game, and they don't see the downward spiral that they are putting themselves into.
Poirier's email to members also says we have highlighted alternative ways the college could save money and propose strategies to increase revenue. We have considered the collective agreement, exploring alternatives for maintaining employment stability. Unfortunately, our suggestions were largely ignored. Again, we are working to confirm the number of support staff affected this week. We should note earlier this year, another round of cuts affected about 180 support staff. And just this week, nearly 200 full-time faculty were laid off. Tony.
Okay, Colton Weens recapping those latest cuts at Conestoga. Colton, thank you. Meanwhile, we are getting some more insight now on those faculty cuts from earlier this week, 181 full-time positions to be exact. That announced on Tuesday. Tonight, we're hearing from some of the staff affected and from their students. Let's get right to that now. CTV's Spencer Turcotte, who's been having those conversations today. And Spencer, what are you hearing from those people?
Well, the students seem to be the most vocal at this point, coming to the defense of their instructors, saying these cuts are putting their learning and future careers in jeopardy.
You know, last month when I heard about this news, I couldn't attend to most of my classes. It was so sad for me.
An unfortunate case of deja vu for Conestoga College when it comes to job cuts. It's had ripple effects on students.
I always try to keep my grades A+, but this semester they dropped because I couldn't focus on my studying.
These two Conestoga biotechnology students were heartbroken to hear that 181 full-time employees from the college were laid off on Tuesday. The college told CTV News on Wednesday it's facing unprecedented financial pressure after a decline in international enrollment and no longer needs the same staffing levels.
I was shocked, confused, angry, because it just doesn't make any sense.
Agochi Taylor created a petition to try and save her beloved professor's job.
His name is M. Reza Rashan. He's like a pillar in this program, and when I'm gone from the program, you know, like I don't want to look back and then be like, oh yeah, it doesn't exist anymore.
It's not just the future of the program that students are worried about, it's their own futures.
I feel it's sort of destroyed my future because I had planned to continue my education here for Bachelor of Biotechnology.
Taking it a step further, they feel the college as a whole could be in trouble.
The name of Conestoga has no value for future because, you know, most of people now know Conestoga don't care about education.
One person who did care about the education and was given a layoff notice on Tuesday is Global Business Management Professor James Siu.
Receiving news that I was one of 181 people was quite a surprise. I had no idea that it would be a layoff of this magnitude. This never happens in academia.
Although it's been happening all too often lately at Conestoga, he says.
Conestoga College is going to suffer a serious reputational damage.
And the ripple effects will continue well into the new winter semester, starting with who is teaching the courses that full-time faculty were assigned to.
There are courses running. They're just not, they decided to save costs and not assign it to full-time.
We actually have the same guy teaching 4 hours in a row, back-to-back those classes, and you know, he is a part-timer.
So whether you're talking to students or laid off faculty, they all seem to wonder whether these moves are worth it if it's the learning that suffers most. Tony.
Spencer Turcotte live with the latest on the faculty cuts at Conestoga. Spencer, thank you. All right, turning now to our first look at the weather as we head over to Leanne Evans in studio for all of the details. Some people might be able to relate to this. I'm glad we got out for our walk when we did today. We had a bit of a break before a rather chaotic round of weather that's coming in.
Yeah, we're lucky we got out. Hopefully everyone had the chance to do so because it's going to get messy, especially as we head into the evening and overnight hours and into tomorrow too. That's why we are under a special weather statement tonight. For rainfall, we're looking at anywhere from 10 to 20 millimeters overnight. Also for the gusty winds that are going to be moving, and we could see gusts upwards of about 80 kilometers an hour. Now, temperatures on the mild side of things today, but they're going to rapidly fall as we get into the overnight hours. And of course, that presents the opportunity for a flash freeze. It's coming by tomorrow morning. So of course, your morning commute could be impacted by this. We could see very icy surfaces out there, pavements, sidewalks, you name it. Travel could be very hazardous at times. Now, this is the system we're watching. I did step outside just before the newscast to make sure it wasn't raining here yet. That's in the Sports World area of Kitchener, but you'll you'll notice it's moving west to east, so we could see that approaching here soon. Locally, some communities already seeing it. We'll time it all out, and I'll let you know when the rain switches to snow. Coming up in the full forecast, Tony, messy end to the week ahead.
Sounds like it. Okay, talk to you shortly. Thank you, Leanne. An alleged criminal network is believed to be responsible for hundreds of thefts from Shoppers Drug Mart stores. Now, investigators believe the property was sold to a Mississauga man and then resold to a liquidation warehouse. The stolen goods amounting to more than $1 million, and 21 people now facing charges. CTV's Sean Leathong has details.
It may have been just a few items at a time, but these stolen goods taken from drugstores across Ontario, Quebec, and BC added up to millions, part of what police call a sophisticated retail theft organization.
They were stealing razors, cosmetics, creams, nicotine gum.
Today, Hamilton Police announced the results of Project Psalms, with 21 people arrested, 175 charges across 3 provinces, all done stealing small items, mostly from Shoppers Drug Mart.
The primary group targeted multiple cities and regions, carrying out their offenses in a rapid blitz-style manner.
They would take a few items concealed in a bag or clothing and then move on. This map released by Hamilton Police shows the route taken by the alleged thieves working together to hit multiple stores in a day or over a weekend, both here in the GTA and in the Montreal area, as well as BC.
Once the property was stolen from the retail locations, it was trafficked to an individual from Mississauga, and from there it was trafficked to a large-scale liquidation warehouse called the A&G Liquidations in Brampton.
Once at the liquidator, the items would then be offered for sale to the general public.
I will characterize the group as very transient in nature. And when we first discovered them operating here in Hamilton, within approximately a month and a half, they all moved to the York region.
Hamilton Police, partnering with Peel, York Region, and 4 other organizations, raided 16 locations this past Tuesday, where they were able to find product along with 6 vehicles, the alleged crimes dating back to late 2024. Hamilton Police adding that many of the people arrested here were already wanted or facing charges for similar crimes.
What we noticed was these individuals would commit a theft, they would be arrested, they would get released on bail, and then they would do the same thing, and it was a repetitive cycle over and over and over.
Staff Sergeant Shane Coveyduck says many of the accused are family members or close friends, with as many as 9 of them living under one roof.
So we decided to engage in a criminal organization type investigation so that we can lay more substantive charges in order to hold them more accountable.
Police added that most of the accused had only been in Canada for a year and a half. Sean Leathong, CTV News.
All right, our Toy Mountain campaign has wrapped up for another year. Hope you joined us last night for the big finale show, because what a year it has proved to be. At a time when the needs in the community have been great, people's generosity proved even greater. CTV's Krista Simpson standing by now, live in studio with the latest. Krista, first thing we notice all around you there, what a difference. That massive Toy Mountain is all gone now.
Tony, it was all packed up and picked up earlier today. Thousands of toys that will bring joy to thousands of children.
Dismantling a mountain of donations, one toy at a time, in a year where the needs have felt greater than ever.
We hear a lot of it's been a hard year for people.
The challenge is evident as this year's month-long Toy Mountain campaign played out. This was the mountain a little more than a week ago, on December 9th. Most of the toys donated up to that point had to be packed up because they were needed immediately to give to families by the Salvation Army. But within days, the mountain was rebuilt, reaching new heights, widths, and depths by Wednesday night's finale show, a testimonial to the generosity of the community that helped and kept helping.
Seeing those community partners, individuals and businesses say, we saw that story, we saw that you had to take it, so we kept going and we kept pushing. For me, that's just an incredible feeling, knowing that we're not alone in serving our community, that it is a community effort to support each other.
Thursday morning, the mountain in the CTV studio came down. The toys packed into boxes and loaded into a truck.
This is where all the toys end up, the Salvation Army Church and Family Care Center in Kitchener. Here, they're counted and sorted.
This year's total, 5,331 toys from the CTV studios alone, with other drop-off locations still to be collected. Some toys will be handed out to families in the coming days. Some will be stored for the kickoff to next year's campaign. Toys that are on someone's letter to Santa.
We're seeing some of those items come in, and I'm going, yes, we get to put this on our shelf because I know this is what somebody is looking for.
This year, the Salvation Army distributed toys to about 5,000 children in Waterloo Region and Guelph, ages 0 to 15. Now, the focus shifts to fundraising to help cover the costs of the programs the Salvation Army runs throughout the year.
This year, our goal is $250,000, and there are many ways that people can give.
From online to the Kettle campaign, still in full swing until Christmas Eve. This one set up at Zares Laurentian.
Every donation is going to help people around you, your neighbors, your friends and family, whoever is here that needs help.
Another way to give, volunteering. The Salvation Army says even a couple hours helping at a kettle can go a long way.
Everyone has to give how they're able to, and sometimes the greatest gift people can give is their time. And so standing on a kettle and saying Merry Christmas and thanking donors is a great way to give back.
In a community that has already proved it is a generous one.
So, Tony, as this year's campaign wraps up, we just want to say a heartfelt thank you to everyone who participated. There was no gift too small. So on behalf of us here at CTV, our partners, the Salvation Army, and our sister stations, Bounce and Virgin Radio, a huge thank you to the community for making our mountain reach new heights this year.
That is for sure. Krista Simpson live at our now empty Toy Mountain as those gifts get out into the community. Krista, thank you. And start your day in the know with our CTV Kitchener newsletter. The best local content from our newsroom right to your inbox, top stories, the latest forecast, and some must-see videos. You can sign up over on our website. That, of course, is ctvnewskitchener.ca. Well, after the break, a special visit back to the NICU, a trio of triplets giving thanks to those who took care of them as infants in a heartwarming holiday reunion.
A messy system is moving into southern Ontario. We will close out the week with a possible flash freeze before some snowfall ahead of the rain. We'll time it all out coming up in the full forecast after the break.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Whether you see Christmas shopping as a chore or a reason to cheer, with 1 week to go until Christmas, many people are simply finding it tougher to get the job done and stay on budget. Tough choices when it comes to gifts and celebrations, with affordability a bigger factor than ever. CTV's Dave Charbonneau reports.
For Chino Izaguirre, holiday shopping comes with a reality check.
Things are expensive. Yeah. You know, things are probably overpriced.
He still has a few items left to buy, knowing it won't be cheap.
I just know to save up around this time, and then I know it's going to be a little dent in the wallet, but hey, it's Christmas. Christmas is always expensive.
But some shoppers are way ahead of the game, done weeks early and shopping sales.
I mean, I sort of pick up things throughout the year, and we don't lose our minds at Christmas time.
The way some people shop is changing as they look for savings.
I was shopping online at first, and now I was like, okay, it's going to be cheaper to come and get it in person than doing it online. So found the stores, saw that they had them available here at Bayshore, and was like, okay, let me come and do some quick shopping.
Experts say the in-person experience still matters.
The in-store experience is still important because it's allowing the shopper to see the variety of available merchandise there in the store that's well curated, available, and discounted.
The Retail Council of Canada says this year, the average Canadian adult plans to spend just under $1,000 on holiday gifts.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I mean, you try to buy on Black Friday or Cyber Monday, but it still doesn't cut it.
There are plenty of sales this holiday season, but some say the discounts aren't deep enough.
The cost is crazy, particularly because I have a 15-year-old daughter. So, you know, the things that she's asking for are like $100 a pop.
What do you do to try to save money?
This time of year?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't.
And though some of the sweetest traditions still come with a price tag, for Mom, it's worth it.
It is a Christmas tradition and one of her favorite treats. So it's something that we always like to get her, and she loves the little Lindt chocolate balls.
Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
A trio of siblings paid a special visit to a Toronto hospital this holiday season to thank the healthcare workers who cared for them as infants. CTV's health reporter Pauline Chan has more on this special reunion.
A special surprise for Nurse Shanti Saw.
From the moment that I came in, there was just this warmth about her that just really, drew me to her, and she was just so helpful and compassionate, and anytime I needed anything or had questions.
We don't get triplets that often, and when they came, like right away, me and Mom bonded, and I was like, oh my God, there's 2 girls and the boy, and we're like, the boy's gonna be so spoiled. And I remember the older brother coming and being so involved, and just watching them grow was amazing.
Mom Nadine Farron recalls first being told she was carrying triplets.
Honestly, I had no words. I started laughing because I was just like, this is the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Zion, Ziana, and Zyla were born July 7th, 2020 at another hospital before being transferred to Centenary.
Now, during COVID, only one parent was allowed in at a time, but because there were 3 babies, both parents were able to come in together.
They stayed 2 months at the neonatal intensive care unit before the babies were big enough to go home. This was their first time back at the actual NICU since they were born, and staff were delighted to give them stuffed toys and show them the incubator in the actual space where they stayed.
So here at SHN, we have about 6,500 births. For the NICU, we have about 750 babies who come to our NICU.
I think it's really a testament to the work that they do here in the NICU.
Surprisingly, triplets do come up a few times a year. They've even had quadruplets. And Nadine has some words of encouragement for new parents, especially those with multiple babies.
It's okay to be scared. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. Really and truly just take it moment by moment and celebrate the small wins.
Happy holidays! Pauline Chan, CTV News.
A new study out of Sweden suggests there could be some unexpected benefits to visiting the charcuterie board at your next holiday party. Researchers tracked the diets of nearly 28,000 people over an average of 25 years. Approximately 3,200 developed dementia, but the risk was found to be 13% lower among people who consumed more than 50 grams of high-fat cheese each day. The risk was 16% lower among people who consumed 20 or more grams of high-fat cream each day. The authors say the findings show an association rather than proof that those foods offer protection against dementia. And of course, they caution further research is needed. The study was published in the journal Neurology. Nonetheless, Ashley Bacon and I agreed that we like good news when it comes to cheese. Provolone and Havarti would be my picks for sandwiches. I'm getting a thumbs up from Ashley as well. But I digress. We're going to take you live outside now for a look at the Dune area of Kitchener, and it is a little damp out there. It's gotten a lot milder today, but that is about to change. Bit of a flash freeze incoming, and some possible messy weather as well. Leanne's back with those details shortly. Also ahead, partnering up to keep punching back in the trade war, Premier Ford and Prime Minister Carney announcing a new deal to get big projects started more quickly, including critical minerals in the Ring of Fire. And many hands make light work. We're off to the food bank of Waterloo Region. First responders joining some familiar faces, answering the call to help those who fight the hunger crisis in our community. We had a pretty decent day today as far as, all of these things that happened before, the cold and the snow, all of what we're expecting, the rain and the freeze. A little bit of a break between all that today.
Yeah, we're going to need it because
I'd like to just focus on that.
Yeah, let's focus on the good. Exactly. We are starting to see the melt happen. You probably noticed this afternoon.
Big time.
During the walk, it was quite slushy out there.
Losing a lot of that snowpack that we had from earlier in the month because of how mild it suddenly got.
Yep, and I'm kind of wondering how much more of it's going to melt because temperatures are going to plummet as we head into the overnight hours, and as mentioned, it's going to be quite messy to end the week. Let's take a live look outside, though, right now. Tony, like you said, focus on the good, right? Mild temperatures as we take a look from downtown Kitchener. And as we said there, yeah, you can kind of see that the streets are a little bit wet. The rain hasn't started yet. I just had Alan go check outside for me, and he says it's still dry where we are in the Sports World area of Kitchener. But that rain should be moving in any minute now to the region, and with it, we are under a special weather statement for the rainfall and the gusty winds that are going to be coming with it. We could see wind gusts upwards of about 80 kilometers an hour, expecting to see 10 to 20 millimeters of rainfall by mid-morning. Now, we've been talking about the mild temperatures. Overnight tonight, temperatures are going to rapidly fall, and that is going to result in some pretty icy surfaces, likely going to see a flash freeze by tomorrow morning. We're going to time it out later, but this special weather statement is in place tonight through Friday night. Keep in mind, as you're making your way out on the roads, travel may be difficult at times. 10 to 20 millimeters of rainfall by 11 o'clock tomorrow morning before things switch to freezing rain and snow. Okay, here's how things work. We're seeing this system approach us from west to east. With it going to bring some heavy rainfall at times, especially during the overnight hours. And then you see by about 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, we're noticing some mixed precipitation, some freezing rain just ahead of the snowfall that's going to move in as a cold front passes through southern and southwestern Ontario. So icy sidewalks, icy roads, icy parking lots. And what my worry is it could turn into black ice and get covered by snow. So definitely keep it top of mind as you're making your way outside tomorrow. The snowfall sticks with us, likely going to see about 5 centimeters of localized accumulation because keep in mind, temperatures are going to be back in the negatives as well as we head into Saturday. Now, today we topped out with a daytime high of 7 degrees in Waterloo region. That's actually a record high for this day. The old record, 6.7 degrees, set back in 1967. So certainly a mild day for December 18th. Currently sitting at 5 degrees in Waterloo region. It's 7 in London. Windsor still hanging on to the double digits. It is 10 if you are joining us from that area. Overnight tonight, temperatures falling to -2, and by tomorrow they continue to plummet. We're going to top out with a forecast high of -4, feeling like -15 when you factor in the wind chill. I mentioned about 5 centimeters of localized accumulation of snowfall. It will also come with a chance to see some snow squalls, so visibility could be reduced at times. Snowfall continues as we head into the weekend. Chance of it into Saturday and Sunday here locally. Otherwise, it'll be cloudy conditions. Hopefully we see some few peaks of sunshine, but by Monday, we do have a mix of sun and cloud on the way. In the Lambton, Kent, and Essex area, sunshine for your weekend and a beautiful daytime high of 3 degrees on Saturday. Great winter day to get outside and enjoy all of the activities that winter has to offer. Southern Georgian Bay, likely going to see some blowing snow with those really gusty winds tomorrow. -3 the daytime high, about 2 to 5 centimeters of snowfall on the way to start your weekend as well. Okay, tonight's Weather Watcher picture is from Gord in St. Mary's. Okay, Tony, remember the other night I told you that the daytime high in 2021 was 14 degrees?
Yes, and none of us remembered it?
None of us remembered, but Gord did. He sent me these photos and said they're of a popular ice cream shop in St. Mary's. I believe it's called Hearn's Dairy. So it usually closes for the season around October 31st. He said, well, during that warm spell 4 years ago, they actually opened for about a week, and local residents were very happy about that.
Yeah.
He said when I brought up the high temperature from 4 years ago, it reminded him of this story and these photos. Gord, I love it. Thank you so much for sending these in because I'm glad someone remembered what this warm spell felt like back in 2021.
I love that. Tying a Weather Watcher photo with a record high from the almanac, and we're really threading this story together. Thank you, Gord, because I didn't remember that either.
I know. Well, now I'm glad someone did. And ice cream in December. I love it.
Yes, and it looks like that would be a great place to get some ice cream, doesn't it?
We'll have to try it in the summer.
We're going to have to put that on our list. But, you know, the holiday is a really busy time for everyone, especially over at the Food Bank of Waterloo Region, their distribution center. they need some extra hands to make sure that people get the food they need.
Yeah, this week the center is actually being joined by first responders from right across Waterloo Region as they help receive and sort food donations. Today, Region of Waterloo Paramedic Services were lending a helping hand. Ashley and I had the chance to check it all out. Take a look. It is First Responders Awareness Week here at the Food Bank of Waterloo Region. So it is a busy day. There's lots going on behind us, and we are joined first by Kim Wilhelm, the CEO of the Food Bank of Waterloo Region. Great to see you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming on this day. It's amazing.
So before we talk about everything that's going on and kind of get involved in the action, let's first start with the demand and the need for food assistance right now in our community.
The reality is the need for food assistance continues to be at record highs. People are struggling day after day to afford the basic necessities. Food is a basic human right, and no one should have to choose between food and housing. Yet over 73,000 people in our community have to make that choice each and every day.
Okay, now we're getting an inside look into the action as it's happening, and joining us is Brian Teat with the Regional Waterloo Paramedic Services. Brian, thank you for being here with us. You know, it's one thing to know that there's need in the community, and it's another thing to bring your crew down here and participate in helping that need. Tell us a little bit about what your crew is doing here today.
Yeah, so you have Regional Waterloo Paramedic Services, supported by Conestoga College's paramedic program, helping out to sort, pack, and distribute food to the community right now. So we have a few crews here organizing, stacking, and packing everything. And we also have some crews out picking up food from the community, from schools and drop-off points in an ambulance right now.
Well, there's a lot of you that came out today. Talk about a little bit about what it means to be able to come out as a team and give back to the food bank, give back to families in need right across Waterloo Region.
Oh, it's amazing for team building and just to be able to be here and support and see the amazing work done by the food bank. The staff here every single day doing this amazing work, so it's great to come in and have a glimpse to see other ways that the Regional Waterloo Paramedic Services can support the community.
Wow, what an operation, what a system to watch.
Yeah, they were busy, hard at work, and I know Kitchener Fire, Waterloo Regional Police, other emergency services were in there too, helping out, so great to see.
Huge job, but an important one.
Yep.
Thanks, Leanne. Up next, cutting red tape and fighting back in the trade war, the new deal focusing on getting more projects in Ontario off the ground quickly. Okay, we're following some major developing news out of Queen's Park this evening. We are just learning that Ontario's Integrity Commissioner has announced plans to investigate Labour Minister David Piccini. This is in connection with the $2.5 billion Skills Development Fund, which of course has been under scrutiny by the opposition parties. In this case, MPPs with both the NDP and Liberals had sent requests to the Ethics Commissioner, so we're just learning that that investigation is going to be getting underway. Ontario's Integrity Commissioner looking into the Labour Minister. We'll keep you posted on that, of course, online and on the air. Well, Premier Doug Ford and Prime Minister Carney met in Ottawa today to streamline critical development in the Ring of Fire. But Doug Ford also took the opportunity to double down on his decision to run anti-tariff ads in the U.S. Here's CTV's Siobhan Morris.
Ford, what do you make of? It's a cooperation deal between the federal and provincial governments to stop doubling up on environmental assessments.
This agreement will speed up project approval timelines by introducing a new one project, one review approach.
The Premier excited about what it means for plans to build roads to link to the mineral-rich Ring of Fire. Ontario has signed agreements with 3 First Nations doing their own studies in recent months.
Today's agreement is the last step in our plan to get shovels in the ground this June.
The leaders agree building more faster is critical with ongoing economic and trade pressures with the U.S. Talks were derailed this fall when U.S. President Trump took exception to Ontario's anti-tariff ad featuring the voice of Ronald Reagan.
America's jobs and growth are at stake.
An ad the premier defended in front of the Prime Minister for the first time.
Number one, that was the best ad that's ever been run. 12.4 billion views. We wanted to bring it to the attention of the American people.
Prime Minister Carney kind of made a face when you said it was the greatest ad ever.
It was.
Doug Ford remains unrepentant for the ad and the pause in talks.
He's attacking our steel industry, attacking our automotive sector, attacking our manufacturing, our pharmaceutical, our life sciences. I'm not going to sit back and roll over.
This comes as the next phase of trade negotiations starts to take shape, with a sense that sectoral tariffs are here to stay, in the medium term at least.
My judgment is that that is now going to roll into the broader CUSMA negotiations. So we're unlikely, given the time horizons coming together, to have a sectoral agreement.
Americans want more access to Canada's dairy market and to nix the Online Streaming Act, which forces big U.S. companies like Netflix to abide by Canadian broadcasting rules, and to put U.S. booze back on the shelves of Canadian liquor stores.
When the Prime Minister and President Trump come up with a great deal for both countries, we'd be more than happy to bring in some maybe Kentucky bourbon.
But in Ontario anyway, not a moment sooner.
Recapping our top stories now with CTV's Ashley Bacon. Ashley, as we take a look at the latest round of job cuts over at Conestoga College.
That's right, Tony. Just 2 days after almost 200 faculty were issued layoff notices, CTV News learning about another batch of layoffs today. These latest job cuts affecting support staff. We are working to confirm exactly how many support staff have been affected. In an email, one OPSU union leader saying she is deeply angered by the decision and its timing right during the holiday season. OPSU also says they tried to work with the college on ways to cut and increase revenue, but feel their efforts have been ignored. The college has blamed multiple rounds of cuts on financial pressures and a sharp drop in international enrollment. Well, that's a wrap on the 2025 Toy Mountain campaign. This morning, volunteers with the Salvation Army dismantled our Toy Mountain in order to get all those gifts into the hands of those in need. And the community really came together this year, collecting over 5,300 toys, as well as thousands of dollars to go towards the campaign. And I think I can speak for everyone on the team here when I say thank you.
You certainly can. And often, we look at those time lapses and think, wow, but in this case, they actually almost were moving that quickly this morning when I came in here.
There was so much to do, Tony.
They've got it down to a science. Okay. Potential deep freeze on the way. Our digital team is going to have everything you need to know to stay on top of that.
That's right. Our team will have all the details on the sudden deep freeze that could happen by tomorrow morning after warmer temperatures and rain subside to sub-zero temperatures. For more information on this story, you can scan the QR code on the bottom left of your screen to get the story on your CTV News app or to download the app right now. You can also visit our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca. Tony, it could be a bit of a messy drive for commuters in the morning.
Yeah, we'll have to keep that in mind. Ash, thank you.
Thank you.
Relief efforts continue to help those impacted by the devastation of Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica. Volunteers at Global Medic busy on that today. CTV's John Musselman reports.
Volunteers spent the day packing these plastic buckets with non-perishable food items. It's an emergency run being put together by Global Medic to help residents in Jamaica dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. The Category 5 hurricane hit the island nation on October 28th. 45 people have been confirmed dead and more than 30,000 households have been displaced.
1, we want to protect the food. 2, we want to fly the food, make it easier to handle, get it onto a truck and hand it out. And 3, when the family gets the food, they're able to use the bucket to collect dirty water, whether it's rainwater or the pipe water, and then pour that water into the point of use water purification unit that we gave them so they have clean water.
Volunteers are packing 600 of these kits. They will be flown to Jamaica courtesy of Air Canada. Volunteers at the Global Medic warehouse in Etobicoke say it is important to help.
The old adage, for whom much is given, much is expected, and it's one way of giving back.
It feels like you want to do something bigger, something more important than just going home and going shopping for groceries and stuff. Like, it's just an activity that's important.
I always feel great at the end, during and at the end of the shift, for sure.
When the kits arrive in Jamaica in the next day or two, they will be put on trucks and then distributed to help those in need. John Musselman, CTV News.
A controversial company that had some people saying they were tricked into expensive contracts. Next, we look back at some of our top stories of 2025. We continue our look back at the year's top stories now as CTV's Spencer Turcotte tells us about a controversial company that had some people thinking they got tricked into expensive contracts.
You are in agreement to give them and hand them over $6,000.
We met 73-year-old Brenda Lampman in September, not long after an outing to Waterloo's Conestoga Mall, walking out with more than she bargained for after an employee at skincare products and treatment store, Resvera Life, waved her in.
She looked at my neck and she says, I can get rid of that turkey neck. Then she had this wand and she put it on my forehead and she says, I can get rid of your wrinkles.
Lampman said she couldn't afford the products being offered and that she'd like to speak with her daughter before making any decision. That's when she says aggressive sales tactics kicked into overdrive.
She said, no, no, no. She said, I can make this very, very good and easy for you.
Before she knew it, Lampman said she was signing a contract that wasn't fully explained to her. The agreement was sent to her email, but she hasn't owned a computer for 10 years.
I mean, at the very best, it's about as sleazy as you can get in terms of sales tactics.
Lampman admits she was originally pleased with the purchase until she spoke with her daughter Kimmy, who began questioning what she signed up for and went into Resvera Life with her mother to demand a copy of the contract.
When you do the interest, the amount is going to be almost $6,000, from $33,000 to $6,000. Over a loan term of 60 months, which works out to be 5 years.
They found themselves in a stalemate with the store's operator because despite bringing the products back, they were told the contract could not be canceled. CTV News did have several phone calls with the store's operator who said their final offer was to cancel the contract if Lampman paid $1,500 since items were opened and couldn't be resold. After a lawyer with the Advocacy Center for the Elderly saw the original CTV News story, they got in touch with point-of-sale financing company Lendcare, who Lampman unknowingly signed the contract with. Lendcare agreed to close the loan.
The loan with Brenda Lampman will now be closed. Yes. So we did it.
That was in October. Then, by early November...
Do you see how all the lights are out? Do you see how dark it is? Why is that? They didn't pay their rent.
An eviction notice on the store's doors confirmed the lease was terminated due to non-payment of rent. Given the closure, CTV News made multiple attempts to contact Resvera Life and the Waterloo store's manager to see if Lampman got off lucky and whether other customers that owed money were still on the hook. The recent messages went unanswered.
As long as a company continues to exist, I think the financial obligations that customers have via contracts are still in place.
So Lampman gets the last word, specifically for the employee who she says told her she had a turkey neck.
Get better looking glasses.
That was from Spencer Turcotte. More news in a moment. First, here's Leanne.
Messy conditions arriving to close out the week. We're under a special weather statement here in Waterloo region. Tell you more about it in Wake Up Weather next.
Tonight,
I was broken into pieces.
Canadians grappling with the very real loss of life savings from fake AI-generated videos.
You could invest in it for as little as $250.
What's making these scammers so convincing that victims are losing everything they own?
I don't have no retirement saving. Everything is gone.
W5 investigates tonight on CTV National News and ctvnews.ca.
So don't walk to trivia tonight, you're telling me?
Possibly not. I don't know. You're going to get stuck in it.
I want to walk to trivia. I've got an umbrella, I've got a raincoat, I've got boots.
Here's the thing. You're brave because I don't like walking somewhere and then getting stuck in the rain and having to sit there in my wet clothes.
Well.
But you know what? You might make it there before everything hits. Because
and then just bum a ride home with someone else.
Exactly. There you go. Because that rainfall, we're just waiting for it to move into the region, but it should be moving in over the next couple of hours. So rainfall overnight. Eventually, we see a flash freeze likely, and then mixed precipitation turning to light snow when a cold front passes through by early tomorrow morning. So Maybe a little bit of mid-morning sunshine, maybe.
All right.
If we're lucky, but a little bit of messy conditions. Keep in mind the icy roads out there.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep that in mind over the next 24 hours. Finally, a woman from Uxbridge, Ontario has set up a mailbox outside her home where local kids can leave their letters for the man in red.
CTV's Adrian Gobriel is on the Christmas beat tonight and has more on spreading the holiday spirit.
On a country road north of Toronto, children from far and wide arrive with letters in hand, destined for the North Pole.
It's truly magical that they actually get the Santa's mailbox.
Go this way, dear.
7 years ago, Melanie Provis and her husband began setting up a few modest Christmas decorations outside their family home.
We started with 2 lonely little reindeer. Oh, there he goes.
Since then, they've added a few more.
About 30 plus blow-ups. This year, we have 30,000 lights.
A few years ago, they also added this red Santa's mailbox. A gaggle of children from the area began to arrive with letters for jolly old St. Nick.
At first, I'd get maybe 20 letters, 30 letters.
That, too, has since grown in volume.
This year, I did over 200 letters.
Each batch of letters is sent to Santa, who replies back with a handwritten letter of his own.
In gold or silver sparkly ink, and they also get a little certificate that says they've been on the nice list.
Each letter offers a glimpse into the hearts and minds of the children who visit. Some of the kids share their wish list with Provis.
A lot of the kids ask for certain things. I had one little boy asking for his mommy to come back, that she had just passed away.
This time 2 years ago, Provis's brother unexpectedly died. He was also a big supporter of her Santa's setup.
We have some decorations dedicated to him. I hope he sees them from heaven. Did the boys get their letters?
For Provis, her wish each Christmas is to share the magic of the season.
It fills your heart with joy. With the world the way it is now, if you can make somebody happy and by a simple letter, why not?
A shining, selfless act that's brightening the lives of hundreds over the holidays. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
A little bit of emotion there, but that is the Christmas spirit, isn't it?
Yeah, what an amazing thing they're doing. That's
wanting
incredible.
to make the holidays better for everyone around. Gotta love that. Okay, that's our time. Thanks for watching. Alexandra Hollick has your next local news tonight at 11:30. Have a good night.
Take care.